Peace and blessings, everybody, and welcome to Storytime. My name is Miss Bernise, and I started doing Storytime to help engage, inspire, and empower people with stories, one book at a time. So, the story that I've chosen for today is called Growing an Artist, and this book is written by John Para. I hope you guys enjoy the story. Growing an Artist. Are you ready, mijo? Papi asks. He smiles as I carry an armful of tools and supplies. Have a good day, Mommy calls. Soon we rumble off into the cool morning air. Today is a big day. Today is the first time I get to help my papi at his work. He is a landscape contractor. Our first stop is to pick up Javier. He has worked for my dad since I was small. Before that, he lived in Mexico working on avocado farms. Javier asked if I remember the Spanish he taught me. ¿Cómo te llamas? Javier asked. Me llamo Juanito, I reply. ¿Listo para trabajar? He says. Sí, listo, I answer. He nods approvingly. You are ready for work. As we continue down the road, we sing loudly to the oldies radio station. At Miss Tarby's house, Javier shows me how to mow perfect lines in the grass, just like I've seen at baseball stadiums. Papi demonstrates how to shape and trim bushes. When I look up, I see a face in the window next door. It's Alex from homeroom. He looks away and pretends not to see me. My heart sinks. We always say hi in school. I put my head down, feeling awkward, and continue to pick up leaves. Juanito, Papi's soft call interrupts my thoughts of Alex. He pushes back the branches of a bougainvillea bush. I'm surprised to see a nest of baby birds chirping away. I grab my sketchbook and quickly draw. Finally, with our electric blower, we clean all the sidewalks and drives. Sun shines through the clouds of dust. At lunchtime, I unwrap Mommy's famous burrito, chorizo, avocado, and egg. I'm still thinking of Alex when I ask, Papi, do you like your work? He pauses, then says, You know, mijo, being your own boss is the best thing in the world. You have to work hard, and sometimes you are treated like you are invisible. But when you do something you love and get to be creative, you feel proud. He notices my sketchbook and says, Hey, you're getting so good. I smile. The next stop is the nursery. Javier finds a store utility cart to drive. Javier finds a store utility cart to drive to load up plants. There are bushes, trees, vines, and many flowers to choose from. I again pull out my sketchbook and begin to draw. With our purchases, we head to Mr. Sanbisco's house. He is an old family friend who has more than 200 rose bushes in his garden. When Papa shows him the special busy bee rose bush just for him, Mr. Sanbisco is thrilled. No one knows more about plants than your dad, he exclaims. By now, our truck is full of brush and waste. We need to head to the city dump, Poppy announces. Fantastic, I say. I love that place. Soon, we pull up to the registration booth, then head up the winding road. The dump will turn these branches and trimmings into mulch for planting. Poppy unhitches the truck's clamps, lowers the tarp, and climbs back inside. I hear the hydraulics working hard. Vroom, vroom. The truck bed lifts up. We inch forward, and soon all the debris comes tumbling out. All three of us look at one another and shout, He holy! The final stop of the day is a house that looks much different from the ones we saw earlier. We rang the bell. Mr. and Mrs. Carroll are happy to see my dad. Together, they discuss how to transform the overgrown yard into a special place. I look around and start to see its potential too. That evening, I have an idea. May I help with a landscape design? See, Poppy agrees. That would be fantastic. Soon Poppy and I are sitting at his work table, drawing the lawn flower beds, walkways, and trees. I add colors to brighten the layout. Hours pass and I become lost in the work. I forget to think about Alex. This is beautiful, mijo, Poppy says. The next day, he comes home with a huge smile. The Carrolls love the design. We start breaking down next week, he says. You have a gift, says Mommy. A few weeks later, Papi, Javier, and I work to plant the last shrubs. The plans I helped to draw are about to be real. I grab my sketchbook and turn the pages. I see the yards my dad has made beautiful. I see Javier hard at work. I remember Alex's face in the window. I turn to a blank page and begin to sketch. I will use my art to tell the stories of hardworking, passionate people who make the world more beautiful. I will tell their stories. I will tell my story. And that is actually the end of this story. I'd like to read the back of this story where it's an author's note. It says, "The story of the little landscaper is the story of my childhood. When I was growing up, I worked for my father, who was his own, who has his own landscape and construction company in Southern California. My father's parents had come from Chihuahua, Mexico, to El Paso, Texas, where my dad was born. When he was 9 years old, his family moved to California's hot Central Valley. There, he labored throughout his youth, ages 9 to about 17, alongside his siblings as a migrant farm worker. As he got older, he began working at a nursery in Bakersfield, caring for plants. After serving in the United States Army, he settled in Santa Barbara to begin learning the landscape business. It didn't take long for him to receive his contractor's license. Over time, his business grew, and within a few years, he became president of the regional Tri-County chapter of the California Landscape Contractors Association. Often, my father's employees were migrants from Mexico who rented rooms in our home and became part of our extended family. My parents encouraged them to take English classes, and many did. My father sponsored his laborers for citizenship. Eventually, a number of them went on to buy homes, begin families, and start successful businesses of their own. I began accompanying my father to work when I was 7, at first helping him with small tasks. By the time I was 13, it was my part-time job. As a young artist, I loved to work on my father's landscape blueprints. For 12 years, I learned from my father and even considered studying landscape architecture and design when I got older. Ultimately, I found my path, studying illustration and fine art at the Art Center College of Design in Pasadena, California. Landscape work was not easy. It was a physically demanding job, done outdoors in all kinds of weather. I had to balance school, friends, life, art, and helping my dad. But working with him was rewarding. It was a creative outlet that nurtured my imagination, and my dad's eye for design and beauty inspired me as a young artist. It provided me with a strong work ethic and taught me responsibility and business. I'm grateful for those days spent with my dad and proud that I could contribute to my family's business. So this is actually a true story written by John Para. And I thought it was important to share the author's note. And, part of the reason is because this is someone's story, and you all have a story. What I enjoyed about this book is how his parents encouraged his artistry. His parents shared what they were doing, and it helped him to develop his own, I guess, self. He got a chance to not only learn a business, but now he's an author and is sharing his story. Many of us have our own story. I have one actually, and oh gosh, I put it into my book, which is called Say Goodbye to Nightmares. And I wrote my book because I suffered for many years with nightmares, and I wrote the story to help to, wow, to relieve the suffering of those who don't know that they can control their dreams. Everybody has a story, and I hope this story time engages you not only to stop and enjoy a great story, but to also write or tell your story because someone needs to hear it. Stories inspire us, stories encourage us, stories empower us. And that's several of the reasons why I do story time. I hope you're inspired. I hope you are encouraged. And I hope this story time helped you to enjoy a great story. I will be back again with you guys on Thursday, same time, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join me on YouTube where I will be doing chapter books. And the story that I'm going to be starting with is called Ellis and the Hidden Cave. So if you would like to follow me on YouTube, you can find me at Miss Bernise and enjoy this story written by Cerise Murphy and Aurea Renee Murphy. And I hope you guys will join me then. Until then, please enjoy the rest of your day. Peace. Thank you for joining me.